teams did not like to play Dragonshire for a while.
So BlossoM finally decides to pick Dragonshire. And I think this might have taken a long time for them to decide. That might have been why we're waiting. The thing is, you're picking into Tempest's best map of the three. If you pick Braxis and you screw up the early game, you lose and you're not going to Sweden. If you pick Volskaya, what are you even doing? Like, you're really just, you're rolling the dice. So you have to pick Dragonshire, which is so unfortunate. And, you know, Tempest chose first pick. So there's not, they can't just be like, well, I want first pick, I'll just give them the map pick. No, that's not how this works. So it's not a big surprise we're going to Dragonshire. I know it might disappoint some people who might not have the crazy game 5 you were looking for, but there's the Garrosh ban. They did not keep it, as you were suggesting. They will remove it. They will continue to fear it.
Has been Genji. And this map, I think that can just continue. Ooh, went for that Anu. Anubarak was second ban in 4th game. But swifting that into the first ban. Oh man, Gondar is really contesting his limits today in his hero pool and the play.
That he is.
Tank ban from his own side will basically be saying he will be even more choked even more later on. BlossoM, Tempest having some choice. Do we want a Genji here? Hanzo Maiev?
Everything's open. Genji, Hanzo, Maiev, Medivh. If you leave Medivh open, that might be taken by BlossoM here. Absolutely high chance. They're going to take the Maiev as they've done every time, minus game 1, when given the availability. So Maiev coming in early. Garrosh is banned. Do we see the ETC rotation here and a control of the tank coming out? Nope. They're going to go for the Stukov again. It's been the response to the Maiev every time.
Stukov, of course, a great support, but let's see this time if Wiz is going to continue up with that Sonya. Or I think this map really global will control a lot more. Along with Maiev, who previously was Mapirian Anubarak, which is taken away. This map's great for Junkrat to interrupt the mid lane actually.
To me, I'm just kind of looking at all because Falstad, if it's been banned every time in the second phase, will they consider dropping it in here? Will they make the draft that obvious? No, they go for the Genji. They also steal away the ETC. This is one of the reasons why I was saying maybe control the tanks with the ETC pick. Immediately camera goes to Gondar here, who's knows this was a possibility. Ban the Malfurion now. But
which would be just the Rehgar.
You just ban another tank here. Like, even Varian is being highlighted because it's like, what tanks are left? Only really good tank here that's left is Johanna. Muradin is... Are we really going to see a Muradin game here? I suppose a Nubrock is, you know, the tank he would want to have, but that's also banned.
3 tanks banned.
I mean, this is a bad situation. This plan has kind of backfired for BlossoM, I think. With the Stukov pick they grabbed early.
But Gondar was willing to have that first ban through. He should have thought this one out. Let's see which hero he actually chooses, or wait until the very last moment, which signed it last game. And went with the Tyrio instead of Johanna.
You know, as much as I want to believe, I'm not entirely certain he did feel this through. I'm not entirely certain that he expected Sign to pull out the ETC.
He is the usual shot caller and the drafter for the team. Gondar is?
Yeah, and he's not speaking at the moment.
Thinking.
I think the ETC pick comes as a little bit of a surprise for Tempest, but I think given the tank choke, it comes out as pretty standard. It will be the Muradin, so I want to check actually. Has he played Muradin? He has played 1 game of Muradin. He's 0-1 this year. So
this entire year.
Yeah, this will be his 2nd time. He played it 3 times in 2017, so this will be his first Muradin game of his career. Pulling it out here in game 5 when the tank choke goes wrong. Your opponents have the better tank line now. You pick the Phoenix. which could still be, by the way, the sole laner. I don't think it will be in this draft, but let's wait before we judge. Phoenix control of the sole lane can be very, very powerful, and I think they can make a choice to run that if Tempest picks a weak sole laner to range. Like if they end up picking a Sonya here or a Dahaka, then that could be, you know, pretty weak. They get the Uther pick for the Genji, so this is going to be the craziest Dragon Blade potential we've had all night. Do they want to bully Sonya and pick another ranged DPS here, try to outrange this squad?
How are they going to create the 4-man rotation? What is this flex pick? Sonya's taken away.
You know, Zarya would be
Phoenix solo lane?
An interesting one. Yeah, I would. You know what? I actually really like that idea. But is it good enough against the Maiev Genji? There's really weak wave clear on the side of Tempest. The Zarya pick makes a lot of sense, G-Clef. I'm liking where you think it with this one. Alternatively, you just take a great wave clear hero like Greymane. You control the camps, you control the push with range.
That's right.
And Phoenix stays in the soul lane. They can just take something like a Malthael, though, and win the soul lane that way. They'll take Dahaka, so they want to have global control. Phoenix will not be in the soul lane. He will rather be in the 4-man. And Tempest is going to really struggle because they lose the 4-man, and they lose control of the map via global. Sonya will have to stay in the top lane. She will be glued to it so long as Dahaka is there. She can win that matchup, and she can push the top lane, but the 4-man is certainly lost. There is no way.
They're already putting Phoenix in. They don't want to risk too much in this final game. The winner of this will be going to that mid-season brawl, facing Ballistics right after.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to Game 5, Dragonshire, a mid-season brawl slot on the line. Let's jump into this map to find out who will go there. As we have Gondar on the Muradin. Such a draft, I think, that went out of BlossoM's hands, out of their control, but they can control the wave clear. That is what this draft absolutely, certainly can do. In the 4-man. The top lane is where good needs to shine. As Gondar is teasing the candy cane Muradin. He knows all eyes are on him. He's playing his 5th Muradin game of his career. His 2nd this year. Here we go. Someone needs to go straight to the top lane, I feel. Sure, they can try to look for a pick. They have ETC Maiev, which is insanely strong, but as long as BlossoM plays safe, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Sign trying to set up for it, but spotted already by the Sonic Arrow. Look at Sonya. Way up there. That's what this is all about.
Yep, ready to start that solo lane against the Haka. Actually, clearing, because they want the wave play, they want to push one a little bit, as the Haka can just go up. Genji's bothering the rotation a little bit, delaying that. I think we'll be missing a few minions, maybe? Just one. Not even one. Wiz actually comes all the way. Lockdown doing the relic strategy.
Yeah, it's going to work too. Trying to use the soul lane pressure to grab a small advantage here.
Because Sonya will be very likely winning the lane, anyhow, will be even harder for Wiz to actually come back into the solo lane once you do not have the healing fountain.
Yeah. So I love this. They understand that the Sonya matchup is their strength in the early game.
Yes.
And so they understand that. They kill the healing fountain. Such a beautiful choice. But the 4-man is certainly lost. As you can see already, they control the camps. They had the wave clear advantage, and even we saw Gondar look for the scout on the camp timing there. Did see that it's a commitment of 4, so does back off. Even Dwarf Toss to get some extra damage in to just have the faster camp clear timing. And they want to grab this, the temple, the Moon Shrine. They grab both actually for just a second, but they can't channel it.
Yeah, Genji's there to spot them, delay.
But this forces 3 to be mid, which means the bot push can, sorry, the bot camp can be taken.
Ooh, great map read by BlossoM here.
Yeah.
As they are releasing the pressure from the bot, they can actually have a great time pushing that bottom lane.
So it's actually all on Wiz. Like, Wiz is actually sneaking up here into this camp, or sorry, onto this shrine, and that forces a bigger reaction mid, which means that, look at this, Siege Giant camp plus the Knight camp.
Of course, because Sonya had to be on top instead. Yeah, Tempest had a slower camp timing with Genji. But they're looking for a kill onto Wiz. Let's see if that's happening. Will survive actually out of the 3-man.
They'll survive, so this is huge for BlossoM.
They can push all the way in now.
Yeah, this fort is going to go down so fast, and they can actually then collapse on top, or they can go for the keep wall, because they have still such a strong push here. This is never going to be as impactful. Murden's still soaking mid, so they're not losing experience. In fact, Murden's rotating, well, he was rotating down.
Core rush game 5, let's go.
Well, they're just going to kill this keep wall.
Let's go, we're going in. They're keeping it up because they're winning the race right now.
They are winning because they have the better camp
control. They still have the camp, yes.
And they have the better wave clear. Tempest is really struggling here. Gondar goes in for the toss, does not connect with the stun. Backing away now.
Dahaka delaying Sonya from taking the camp. Taking the fort will get taken away, about the same level now.
They can actually go for the mid wall. Remember also that on this map, exclusively the top wall and the top forts mean the least. They mean a lot for the solo matchup from controlling the Sun Shrine, but in terms of ending the game and Dragon Knight pushes, totally worthless. The bottom one is the one you need to worry about because that's a game-ending lane, whereas the top one takes much longer to travel to the core, and you get stuck on the bridge oftentimes as the Dragon Knight. They're going to look for a Dragon Knight channel there. Dudu has to warp, does warp away, gets out. Silence comes through, drag, and Dudu can finish him off. Okay,
gets the cleanse, gets some Warwind healing back. It's going to be no channeling for the Dragon Knight. Actually, BlossoM taking back control. They just have to go back top and bottom and get those shrines back.
Yep.
No casualties from Tempest. That was close onto Sonya.
Deathless game so far. Wiz controls this top shrine, but he can't hold it. Even with the Phoenix rotation up, it's a little bit too slow. No healing well to run away from. Oh, he gets the grab, but there's no follow-up. This actually isn't going to be good for him. He uses his essence to heal up, and they can't commit. So another failed rotation to try to kill Wiz. Wiz is doing so much with this global pick. Okay, Dudu. Ooh, his warp gets interrupted. He's in trouble. He's body blocked. He's dead. No way out of this one.
EED.
Okay,
nicely done by Uther's stun.
Yeah, also the tether there too. Well placed to kind of force that quick warp, but interruption comes through. Who's just coming up here to harass, but he has no escape. Remember, this is risky. Good's gonna squat it, forces the rotation mid. Well, here comes ETC. Like, Wiz needs to kill her to make this a trade, or he's gonna die.
May just be baited.
Yeah.
Wiz staying a long time, and there's a death. From the pinball, Space Melt does a lot of damage.
That's unfortunate because they did so well to, or sorry, he's done so much up there to buy time and force these rotations that failed, but this is his first real mistake in the solo lane, expecting that he could get a kill to make it a trade while Dami looks to steal this back. He can't squat it though, he's too low. They don't have a window of time, ETC trying for it, but Silence denies. Like I said, this very well may be a game where we don't see a Dragon Knight till 15 minutes plus. Because of the way these comps work.
And then how they're rotating right now.
Like, top is insanely won by Sonya and the big rotation up there, but BlossoM wins both mid and bottom. They haven't been able to do as much to the mid fort because Tempest is getting closer to 10 and they haven't been able to use this top pressure to push Dahaka back, and the global hasn't been as effective for a little while, but...
Yeah, but instead on the bottom, BlossoM still got the fort up, so on the opposite side.
I think, yeah.
If they have been just controlling from the bottom, of course, teamfight control for Tempest, if they get the cage and everything lined up.
Yeah, that's why they're committing to this neutral camp. They have 10. 10's up for BlossoM, but they have the better team fighting comp.
Stage dive from ETC.
Yeah. So important to try to counteract that global ability. We are seeing the salvo come out as well, no Planet Cracker.
BlosSOM's focusing on the Modern.
Modern, he's dead.
Deleted.
Stage dive. Cleanse here as well, immediately onto the ETC to hope for get the follow-up stun by Sign does not happen.
At least Dahaka is pushing the top lane with the camp, so that will be an okay trade, but Hanzo, that means this camp will be insanely powerful pushing in right here.
So much damage coming through here from the Phoenix to try to delay this. Dahaka split pushing top. Stage dive was used to attack, was used aggressively. Sonya has to rotate up now. They should be able to save the top fort. And in this tiny window of time, Tempest went aggressively, tried to get more damage to the structures, did not. What? I guess that was, maybe they're going to get a snipe on a hide. If he gets stunned, then they get the drag, but that didn't work. In this window of time, they went for the fort instead of actually trying to get a Dragon Knight. So they failed to get the Dragon Knight. And BlossoM still looks ahead. They get the top fort down. And they're going to take an experienced lead with that. Well, it's almost down.
I guess he was just trying to snipe onto Uther. Maybe. I think he was going to be alive even with that stun and the drag.
I mean, I think there's a chance that ends up being a kill, but they don't need the arrow for anything else right now. You know, I'm not going to call that one a
It's going to be really hard, really hard for even Phoenix to be alive. It's Leap and Mosh and Stage Dive together. So it's going to be basically a target stun for Phoenix and Hanzo. One of them has to die every single time.
It's very all in though, and if it doesn't work, they will lose every fight. They will not have the ability to set up potential mosh pits, and they will not have Sonya's Wrath of the Berserker to sustain and do additional damage. Like, that's such an important and impactful heroic. It just makes Sonya basically, I almost want to say like 50% better than she normally is when that heroic is active. So if the leap doesn't get you a kill, you're just playing a worse Sonya in every team fight.
That's true. Certainly true. Genji even committing. There's a leap onto Stukov. Stage dive in with the slow, and Nasang will get caught by the power slide. Face mail connects, and that's gone.
Cage comes in as well, and the Dragon Blade is doing massive work. Wiz does avoid some of that damage with the burrow. Lockdown's body block, but he gets the Divine Shield. Gets the Divine Shield. But they do collapse in, get the kill onto Haka. Salvo's going to do a decent amount of damage. Hyde will go down. Can they turn this? Gondar, very low. Heals coming through. This ends up being a better trade for BlossoM, or sorry, for Tempest in the end. They're going to grab the Dragon Knight the first of the game at 9 minutes, and they have total control of the map now.
Oh man, that salvo all deflected back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Of course, got the kill on the Uther, but that was basically it. And
yeah, it's a trade.
It's Genji before the changes to the Dragon Blade. And Lockdown actually dove in a little bit too early, not getting the kill with the dash. So has to use the Divine Shield as a safety tool. Not really connecting too well with the Dragon Blade, but still safe Genji. And he's on that Dragon Knight.
That kick on a Modern Life. We're going to get an easy fort from this. That top fort still stands, by the way. Experience that BlossoM like to unlock later on in the game, but it's so difficult now with map control against them. It's so greedy to get over there. Basically just trying to see if we can get one more Q off here. It's Genji in the Dragon Knight, so even if it gets destroyed, he should be able to get out. Well, we need to watch this, though. Okay. Does get the Dragon, or sorry, get the Swift Strike before the silence comes through.
Support's down, and they have the massive lead. In terms, the Haka not really able to go too much. Ever since that fort was destroyed, Wiz never really stepping over the mid line right there in the top lane. Because he can't, he will be caught.
Yeah, he's just trying to even out the experience when the pushes come through. So he's saying, if you push, I can soak safely, so continue to do so. I won't lose any minions, I won't lose any soak because the fort's gone, so he always gets free soak. It's one of the disadvantages of leaving a fort, or killing a fort early, because it means Haka gets safer soak. They're actually going to commit to kill HGC, but he should be able to stage dive out. Depends on if the stun hits. Well, he's actually just going to power slide out. That was a total fail rotation. Now they can steal the camp mid, or sorry, bot mid. The neutral camp. Hanzo Heart's back.
What can BlossoM do in terms of macro here? They can push top maybe. It basically will be meaning that they will be leaving the bottom on free, which they don't want to do. So they just have to keep safe and soak up a little before they hit 16 here. They're against the stage dive ETC, so Deaka's global is kind of nullified.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, and ETC actually stuns that wave and keeps this fort alive a little bit longer. I'm not sure if it actually is going to go down. I don't think so. I think he actually saved the fort with that power slide. At least for the time being. So that was a cool move. And yeah, look at that. Keeps the fort alive. Watch that minimap like a hawk. This push is coming down here. ETC can come at any moment.
I thought you were a wolf.
I'm a hawk when I'm watching the minimap, man. That's for sure. Watch out, I'm checking it.
You got one eye on the minimap and one eye on the game.
You guys, like, yeah, that's right. You guys don't know some of the stuff's happening because our observers like to show the action size, but I'm showing you guys the macro. I'm talking about it. You guys saw that power slide, and he saved it. It's going to be another Dragon Knight Unleashed, 2 back-to-back insta-Dragon Knight, because map control is given so hard to Tempest. BlossoM is in some serious trouble.
Right when they hit 16.
Their mid-season brawl chances on the line here. Gondar are going to stay aggressively positioned. They're trying to slow this Dragon Knight down as best as possible. And to somehow look for a flank. We just see Dahaka coming down slowly here. Gondar is going to have to Avatar. I'm not sure if he's going to get to. He won't. Silence too late. Heals too late. This could be game, actually. He was greedy. He wanted to use the Avatar, but he was stun locked. Locked down here. The Dragon Knight's very low, but they could actually really follow up deep with no main tank on the side of BlossoM. We can even see an ETC stage dive in.
This was exactly what we were worried about. His experience on that Muradin. I think it really showed at that moment right there. He'll be back in 15, but they lost so much.
Tempest is still just playing so passive. They've been playing passive all night. They decide not to go in. They decide not even to go for the keep, despite the fact that Gondar is down. They want to look for level 20, not a big advantage in the keep. So this is not going to be game-ending. BlossoM is going to have a sigh of relief in that regard. They're not going to lose a keep. They're further not going to be destroyed in terms of map control. But 2 levels behind now because of the soak advantage that Tempest has. They're going to hit 20 first. Tempest is just in such a fantastic position in terms of map control. They need to find a way to get a pick with Dahaka. And it's crazy to me that the Leap comp is doing this well, but the Leaps have had almost no impact on the game. So think about that for a second. We've had almost no massive Leaps that got kills. And they're basically winning this game without Sonya having her Wrath of Berserker. Ball of Stuns here on Dami. The silence as well. Here comes stage dive. And blown up is Nasong. No way out of this one. It's a trade, but they have no heals anymore. Purification Salvo going to connect, but not really being that impactful here. Dudu, he's very low. Phoenix doing a lot of damage here. Divine Shield onto the Dragon Blade is going to mean that this is just too much damage. Wiz is caught. They're stuck here. This looks like a wipe. And it certainly will be. Gondar solo. Lockdown comes in. There's the big Stormbolt to keep him alive. He's going to get that passive healing now. He does get out, but man, BlossoM's in trouble. 20's up. And the Dragon Knight's up in 20 seconds.
Top's pushing already. Stage dive was used, so ETC has to mount all the way up, but exactly at that time, the Dragon Knight will be, the shrines will be active, so they can get the keep, whichever keep they want to. I think the bottom one, of course, as you mentioned, the reasons why the bottom one is so important, they will just go straight through, wait for their teammates to respond, and then just at least take a keep, or even more if they get another kill along with that keep.
Well, channel comes through. They have to defend. They can't contest. How does BlossoM make the miracle defense happen? Waiting is Tempest right now, hoping that BlossoM is just going to come over here. Not going to happen though. Dami's going to grab this. They get the ideal Dragon Knight with Maya, who has the ability to instantly escape afterwards and set up for a team fight. I want to make sure they have the Dragon Blade. I know that was last time. It was Sonya. It was Divine Shield, not the Genji, by the way. My apologies. But the Divine Shield should be up fairly soon. They actually got Bulwark as well. They did not get Redemption. So he's going to be a stronger Dragon Blade with this 20 now. The keep is dead no matter what. Gondar's doing what he can to buy time. Does not want to get picked this time, though. Wants to survive. Modern Life on this Hanzo here, deflecting a lot of the damage right now. He's just bleeding down this Dragon Knight.
Keep down, they have 20, they want to go going to the core. There's a leap on the Phoenix. Perfect time, blown up. Data's also very low.
And the Dragon Blade de-shielded. This time it's the Dragon Blade de-shield. They want this wipe. They want to go to Sweden. Modern Life gets into the Hall of Storms. The Dragon Knight is going to go down here. Wiz and Gondar collapsing in. Isolation coming into it, but Good lives. And he's on the Sonya. This should easily be the core going down as Wiz will be the last to fall. Tempest, they are going to advance. They will go to the mid-season brawl. They were the champions in 2016. And finally, they get another chance at that DreamHack Summer title.
Leap making a crazy engage right there by Good. Locking down that Phoenix. Could not do a single damage in this last final team fight. What a feeling you have to be feeling. Like, you are in that team fight, but once you are locked in from the Leap, chained up with the crowd control, back to back, you are deleted. You cannot warp out from there.
The Leap stage dive combo ended up being very successful. They used ETC as a pseudo global to counter the Dahaka. Mixed emotions here on the side of BlossoM. Modern Life watches his former team advance to Sweden. So this team was the closest they've ever been to preventing Tempest from being 3rd place in Korea, but they come up short in the Game 5. Tempest destroys them on Dragonshire. They had the map choice. They took us to Dragonshire despite the fact that there were other maps available. I think it was still the right choice, but it's so difficult to play against this team that's so coordinated and so defensive on this map. And Gondar in this draft, I feel like he really lost in the series with the tank choke that totally went against them. They did not expect Sign to lock in the ETC. He hasn't been good on the hero in a long time. He locks it in, has a great performance with the stage dive.
Even an upgrade off the stage dive.
Yeah, and he gets stuck on the Muradin, and he does not have the impact he's looking for.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Anubarak versus Ban. Was that really worth it? That Genji used to be the one, and lockdown on that Genji in this game, pretty powerful. And I heard that Genji's even more buffed in the later coming patches. I wonder what's going to happen in the Crucible and later on. But Tempest will be going to that mid-season brawl. I think BlossoM may have shown too much yesterday and the week before. Tempest was waiting for this match that matters the most, and then they were able to get their best, not the best in shape, I would say, ever, but able to win against BlossoM with a 3-2.
I want to also go on the record to say I think this is one of Tempest's weakest series. Next to the last series they played against BlossoM all year long. They showed some problems in drafting. They showed some issues with tank selection for Sign. Sign showing a lot of weaknesses here. They won the series, and they are going to Sweden. But, you know, for those looking on, watching VODs and studying this team,